Are you ready to make something magical with me today? Come on inside and join me as we walk through the Thimbelina soft book panel tutorial. Come on inside and join me. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jennifer Long from Sew a Story. I am an early years educator turned Riley Blake Designs fabric designer and just lover of all things story and creative. So today we are making the Thimbelina soft book panel. I want to talk you through some important tips and tricks as you're sewing this together, but you guys, it's easy. Don't let the pages and the order confuse you at all. All you need to do is run to your favorite fabric shop and grab yourself just one cotton panel. Maybe you want to make more, but you're just going to grab yourself one cotton panel. It looks like this. It has 3 columns. It's a full yard, and it even has the instructions written right on the panel. I also have a free set of illustrated instructions. If you want to go to sewastory.com, go under Fabric Collections, Thimbelina, and you can download it there. But I'm going to walk you through some of the tips and tricks that you're going to need when you are doing this. So let's start off with a couple of things. A couple of things are you're going to need your panel. So grab your panel. I always encourage you to get it from your favorite quilt shop. So there's lots of amazing shops that are carrying Thimbelina. Make sure that you go and grab yourself one or more panels. If you are having trouble finding it, at Sew a Story, we are offering in those cases just a limited quantity of a couple of the items that we are featuring. And this is something new in 2026. So you can head over to the website, and we'll also put links below if you're having trouble finding some or any of this stuff. We want you to create this year and make all of the wonderful things and possibly even share them with the world and give them to the ones that you love. Next off, if you want the fully illustrated instructions, you're going to go and download them off the Sew a Story website. Like I said, this is a free download. You do not need to have purchased this, but you do need the panel to make the book. So the instructions are the exact same instructions that you'll find printed on the panel, except I've gone ahead and illustrated all of the steps so that you can walk alongside the instructions and really have a visual. I don't know about you, but I like a visual. So I wanted to offer this as a little free extra guide. So go ahead and grab that. A few things extra that you may or may not want. Okay, those are the needed supplies. I also am using something inside your book. So to give your book some stability, you can see that mine, like the pages are actually quite stiff. You can use 1 or 2 of the following things. So you can just use this product that I adore. It's called Heat and Bond Light Sewable Craft weight interfacing, and it is so light. It's like paper light. That's the bookmark. It's paper light and paper thin, but it really, like, look how strong it makes those pages. So it's almost kind of like board book-ish. Or you could use, if you want it really soft, you could use something called fusible fleece. Either is fine. If you use both, just know it's going to be a little bit fuller, but either is fine for there. Plastic snaps or Velcro. I really love to use plastic snaps for a couple of reasons. Once they're on, you cannot get them off. So they are really child safe. Second of all, I feel like it's really, really good for hand-eye coordination. And it's beautiful. And you can get them in so many different colors, and it just really finishes it. So I'm kind of addicted to those, but you can also use Velcro. I also am using a quilty hemostat, which is right here. So this is going to help me turn out all of my corners and just get them nice and pointy there. So those are the things you absolutely need. A few things that you can have for embellishments if you want is sparkle paste. So sparkle paste is a product I designed with ThermoWeb Heat and Bond. It's a heat set sparkle. So yes, it is safe. It's washable before you heat it, and even after you heat it, that's when you can wash it and it doesn't go all over. You don't have sparkles all over the place. So there's a lot of different colors, but for each collection, I'm curating a little package. We're calling this the Thimbelina Sparkle Paste Bundle. So it's in those colors, and it also comes with the stencil of Thimbelina, all of the cute little designs there. So those are the colors and the designs. And you can grab that from your favorite local quilt shop, and we have a couple of them also in our shop. Embroidery floss. So if you would like to, and I'm going to show you some that I did here too. If you want to do a little bit of texture or hand embroidery, embroidery floss is nice. And again, I love it because it's safe. Of course, you can add other things like sequins and buttons and ribbons and all kinds of things. I just want to caution you of the age of the child that you will be sharing with this, and make sure it's not a choking hazard or it's age appropriate. So just be aware of that. All right, so without further ado, we are going to get started. I am going to walk you through on just how easy, honestly, how easy, it's just a few straight line sewings it is to make a book. Let's get started.
Okay, friends. Well, let's get started and have some fun. So, all right. Okay, so here, let's get started. So the Thimbelina book, I just want to walk you through what it looks like to start. So this is what the book looks like. As you open it up, you can see that the pages are matching. The colors on the pages are matching, and or the lines are matching here. If there's anything that's coming over, you can see that it's coordinating through here as you're working through the book. It all kind of comes together, and there you go. I want to show you a couple of embellishments now just to get you kind of thinking about it and excited. So I do have some buttons, but I have all older kids. Don't forget, I do have a little bit of beads in there. I did do hand stitching. I don't know if you can see that in there. I did quite a bit of hand stitching on it, actually. Okay, here, wherever there's thread, can you see I just did like a running stitch here? So there's just a lot of texture that can happen here again as well. And then there's just a lot that's happening. Now, I used on these no fusible fleece, I am using just this product right here. So this is called Heat and Bond Light Sewable, and it is a craft stabilizer. So you can use that. But like I said, look how you can see how kind of sturdy those pages are. If you wanted a little bit softer, you might choose to use this really low loft but fusible fleece, and it still adds body and padding and support for quilting without being like overly dramatic. So I would just say just one or the other, but not necessarily both. There's also a bookmark that comes here. I'm just going to go through a few of the visuals of what we just already talked about here. So I'll just keep this right here. This is the Sparkle Paste bundle, and it has all of those colors of Sparkle Paste in there, as well as this adorable stencil. So if you aren't feeling super artistic, but you want to have all of those really cute designs on there, that you can paint them on there with Sparkle Paste, or have someone in your life that's in your stocking space join you. I have a little paintbrush to go alongside. Just for color, I added the Thimbelina jelly or 2.5-inch roll here, but you won't need this at all. I just love having all those colors beside us while we are working. I did download the Thimbelina Storybook instructions. You can notice the date on there. And this is what we'll be working off of today. I've got a couple of extra things, rotary cutters, scissors. I do have these quilting hemostats that are designed by yours truly, excuse me, Jennifer Long of So Story. They originally are for doll making, but I just love, love, love them for turning. I have some pins. Of course, I have some Thimbelina stickers here just for fun to add some surprises in there. And we're going to get started right away. So I'm going to push everything back and make lots of room for us to get started. If you haven't already, this is a great time to open up your panel. Just check if you want to pre-wash it. This would be when you would want to do it. Otherwise, if you do it after, it's probably going to just shrink a little bit. It is cotton. If you do want to press it, if you like to starch, you can starch it as well. So a couple things I want to show you here is I like to create seam allowances that don't need perfection. So that means that instead of having like a big dotted line here, that if you didn't catch it, you would actually see it and it would feel like a mistake. So I actually just do another color in there. And so that way, if you don't catch it all, and I bet you there's times when I didn't, it's a little bit right there. If there's times that you don't catch it all, oh, here's a little bit here, then, it has like a really gorgeous feel. So that color border is actually designed to be inside their seam allowance, but it's like, I will call it your like grace line because you don't need it to, like if you can't sew exactly on it, it won't destroy your project. So that's what that is there. You're also going to notice that the numbers of the pages are feeling like disorganized, and that is the magic of bookmaking. So how a cotton book is actually made is kind of how you design it too. So if you start from here, each of these is like a separate like fold. So this is one piece, and then this is one piece here, and then this is one piece on both sides, and then this is one piece on both sides, and then finally the cover is one piece on both sides. So you are going to be literally making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individual two-sided page sheets, page spreads, if you will. So 5 of them. And then all you do is sew down the center after you turn them. It's really, really quite simple. So I don't want you to start to feel intimidated by this project at all. It is fast and quick and fun. So the first thing you're going to want to do is either read the instructions, which are right over here on my panel, or I'm going to grab them over here and we're going to go through them. So again, I have some general explanations of what's happening here, what the sewing is, the supplies, and some optional supplies. The next thing you're going to do is carefully cut out all the pieces on the outer cut line. So I'm calling this the outer cut line, that border line there. You're going to prepare that closure tab. And so that closure tab just looks like this. That closure tab is like this. You're just going to sew around that, flip it, and you can have fusible fleece and or both interfacing. Turn it and have it prepped. Then we're just going to simply start doing the pages. So I'm just going to grab a couple of the pages here, and we are going to begin just doing one together, just so you can kind of get the idea of what's happening. So let's start right over here. I am going to take my rotary cutter and a ruler, and I'm just going to cut it out right on the outer of that seam allowance. You can see when I put this ruler over, it's actually the exact 1/4 inch because that's how it's designed to be your 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then I'll cut the bottom piece out as well. Okay, so it looks like this. All right. So then I should have stapled mine together. Good thing I put page numbers on the bottom. Okay, page 4, page 5. So we're going to say front and back covers here. We're going to leave a 3-inch opening as you sew them all together, and you're going to work them all together. So it's going to say here, I just want to find this one that I'm working on here, page 2 and 19. I believe it goes with the cover, and well, I'll just tell you here if it goes with the cover and back cover. Yes, it does. Okay, perfect. Okay, there it is. Okay, perfect, right there. So you're going to take this picture. The image is the same. Yay. you're going to take this and the cover, the front and back cover, and we're going to sew it together. This is why I had you prep that tab as well. Okay, so we want this piece is ready to go here. And then I'm going to find the front and back cover as well on my panel. Oh, these are my closure tabs here. So you're going to want to cut your closure tabs out from here as well so that you have them. Cut them all the way out. I'm just going to cut one for time's sake here, just so I'll be able to show you how this works. You're doing great. I love to see how you're going to be working on this, and I really cannot wait to see how you put this all together. Okay, excellent. So then we're going to grab the front cover, which is right here. I already have a little bit of a cut. Let me get some space here and pull it back so it looks like this. And I'm going to go ahead and cut those front and back covers. Cut them on the line. Here as well. Okay, closure tab placement. It's showing you there. Okay, this is the perfect one to do together. All right, so we've decided that these are the two pieces that are going to go together. They're going to get finished like this. So that's how it's going to be, and that's going to be the outer part of your book. Okay, so every page is going to be like this. The object is just to make sure you are matching the correct pages. So here it will tell you exactly which ones to do with each one's. Page 18.3 with page 417, and so on and so forth. And then how you order them in here. Pages are also numbered, so it's a good time once you stack them all up to check there also, but we'll get there right away. So I have just this. We're going to do a little bit of pretending just to keep this video not too long because, like I said, this is a pretty simple project. So what we want you to do here is you're going to choose which one and or both if you want to use on your book. So if you're going to use the light sewable, you're going to just do it to one side of this, and I'm going to do it to the outer cover. So you're going to fuse it to the outer cover, or if you're going to use fusible fleece to do it that way. We're going to imagine that I've done that already. I do have a piece here of fusible fleece. Let me put it on. Good. And I will cut that out as well. Here's my ruler. Perfect. Okay, so I have one layer of fusible fleece here on this project. That's what I'm going to choose for this really soft book. Take it over to my iron and press it. Once it's nice and pressed, you're going to see how fun it is. Before you sew it together, this is where you want to embellish it. Only because if you're sewing on hand embroidery details and or if you're sewing on any embellishments at all, the threads are going to be hidden in between the pages. So take a moment here now if you want to do any embellishments as I was showing you here, like any of this was done right now. It was done at this point. You can do it when it's already fused. And then just add a little bit of embellishments. The sparkle paste can happen at any time, even well after, just because it's just heat set and ironed on afterwards. Once you've prepped both of your pages, you're going to triple check that they go together according to your instructions, and then you're going to place them right sides together. Now, I usually take my pins and do a few matching steps. I want to match this center seam. Because the center seam is so important, it's like the integrity of your book. It's really like going down the line. Are the flowers matching here? All of that stuff is happening. Is everything matching? Take a moment, and this is kind of like your North Star, especially as your book gets thicker and thicker. So I put it between the seam allowance and where the pages come together, and I do it again on the back, and I pin it. Now, this is my pinning technique I always share. If you take this and pull it over and put it in, you're actually shifting it just slightly. So you're actually pulling this top fabric over. And so if you ever feel like, oh, now I can see the seam allowance on the other one, it's possibly because you did that. So if you really care about accuracy, I keep this one as my North Star. It's pointing up, and I stick another pin in there. Then I'll repeat that here at the bottom. So seam allowance and intersection, seam allowance and intersection, and I'm pinning it. So just like that. Now I'm going to do the same thing at the corners because this is a cotton fabric, and maybe you were pressing it as you were starching it or pressing it when you were sewing on anything. It may be shifted. You can even see here that I can have a little bit, it feels like this is just a little wonky. Don't worry. This is why you're pinning. So you're going to do the corners to the corners in that seam allowance and go like that, and over here as well. And it's cotton, so it's also forgiving, and you'll be able to shift it around. And one more time here and here. Now, in the instructions, it says leave a 3-inch opening at the bottom. It's not specific exactly where, but, oh, and before we get to the bottom, sorry, I'm getting so excited. We are going to insert this. So you've already done this. Imagine you have both pieces, it's sewn together and turned, and it's ready to go. You can see on the outside, it's a little bit darker. I'm actually going to pull it closer so you can see. Do you see how this part is darker here? That's where you're going to line it up. So this is sewn and turned right side out, and you're going to slide it in there. And so that when you sew it in, it's going to be caught there. So I would also give this a pin. I'm not going to sew this. I'm just showing you how to do this here. All right. So just like that. Now you could leave this 3-inch opening over here in the center. There'd be nothing wrong with that, but you'll lose the ability to have this point, and it can shift slightly. So I am recommending that you pick a page at the bottom and leave a 3-inch opening here or on this side. And then as you sew around, you've got to make sure all of your corners are stitched nicely and all of your centers are stitched nicely. Do not stitch down the center here yet. And then you're going to turn it inside out. So what I like to use, like I said, is a pair of hemostats. I just grab them, pull it through, and then I use this closed end to push the corners out at the end. And it gives a really nice look. And then I do another press. Once you have all 5 pages assembled, like this, ready to go, you can just hand stitch the opening close at the bottom. Mine's right here, and you can't even see them. Good job. You can use something called a ladder stitch, or you can even just, if you don't want to do any hand sewing, you can just run it along your machine each page before you sew it together. Just run it through your machine at 1/8 of an inch all the way around, and that'll close it up too and give your book a nice crisp finish. Then you just follow your instructions. It tells us here how to layer every single page 12:9, page 14:7. So right here in step 13, it tells you how to layer them all. So you're just going to go boom, 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 layer them all. Slow your machine down because this is thick. I would definitely do a back stitch here and take your time and stitch all the way through all of the seams. I would definitely have pinned it there, and go back and forth a few times just to make sure it's nice and secure. Then you can just add your snap buttons or your Velcro, and your book is complete, just like that. So and you can write on here, the story belongs to and made with love from. How special is that? So again, I am so excited to see you stitch up this Thimbelina Storybook Cotton Panel and really let your imagination and those around you come to life.
Thank you so much for being here and hopping into the Thimbelina story with me. I would love to see your photos and your pictures of your progress that you are working on. I'd love for you to come into the So Story community and share with us what you are making. Tag the shop you bought it from, tag us. We will happily share. We are so excited about this Thimbelina book. It is something that is really heirloom quality that you can hand down from generations. And the act of just reading a story to a child is so nurturing. The act of reading a story that you made is next level. And the act of reading a story that is really about us coming all together and being creative to have the most success, it's just everything to me. So I am so excited that you are here. I cannot wait to see what you create with the Thimbelina soft book cotton panel. Grab yours or 5 today, and I can't wait to see what you create. Let's get sewing those. Okay, see you again soon. Bye for now.